Hello everybody, welcome to another video. My name is Infiniti, and today I bring to you the first episode of Does That Yarn Work in the Sentro knitting machine. Today's video will cover this KC knit and crochet movement yarn that I got from Joann Fabric, and if you like this colorway, I will be leaving the link to it in my top comment and the description box below. It's called Denim. I picked this yarn because it felt similar to yarns that I have used in the past with my Sentro knitting machines. Luckily, the yarns that I use in my different machines seems to be pretty universal, with a few exceptions, and we'll get into those exceptions in a future video. But this is the yarn that I have today, so we're gonna pop it into the machine and see how it works out. Alright, today I have with me my Sentro 32 needle knitting machine, and I am going to put it into panel knitting mode for this go round because I believe I want to make scrunchies today. So I wanted to test out this bigger machine with my scrunchies to see if they look more full. This yarn off the bat, it's about a 3-weight yarn. Usually with 3-weight yarns, I will double my strand because it gives me a thicker, more substantial piece of fabric. So if that's something that you're looking for, then I would recommend doubling your strands. I'm going to create a slip knot and place it over my white indicator needle. And a lot of times when casting on yarns, you will know if you're going to have a problem or not in the cast on rows. In most instances, the yarn will fall off or start catching in the first couple of rows, so you don't really have to waste your time with completing a whole project that you'll end up having to frog later. Alright, and now that we've cast on, we're going to see how this yarn cranks up. So what I just did was kind of a backwards way to cast on, so to speak, and it's how you cast on this machine with it in panel knitting mode, and I will go over that also in a future video if you guys would like. Just leave me a comment down below. Alright, here I have done about 4 rows, and so far so good. As you can see, none of my stitches have dropped off in those first few rows. And this is usually the kind of litmus test that you want to make. If your stuff starts falling off within those first 5 to 10 rows, then you know that that yarn is not compatible with your machine. So I'm going to continue to crank on this to show you guys what this fabric further looks like knit up in this panel. Okay, unfortunately, my yarn got caught in here somewhere, and I ended up cranking a whole row without yarn, so I technically cast off my project here. And so all I have is the little curly part on this one, but thankfully I did have a piece of fabric knit up in the round, so it's not that different. But at least I have this sample here so you can see the width difference of the fabric that's knit in the round and that's knit flat. Now I will preface that it is the same length all the way around, but just visually, like if you're going to make things like sweaters and skirts, you would want something like this in the flat panel. But if you're just doing hats or like leg warmers or things like that, then the round knit is perfect. What a way to start this pilot episode. So the fabric itself, knit with this yarn, it's not super stretchy, but it's stretchy enough to make scrunchies and other little things. I would say even the leg warmers would probably work out with this if you don't pull your strings too tight on either end. So yeah. And let's get our tape measure out here, because I get a lot of questions about the width of the fabric. So when it's knit in the round, the width of our swatch here is about 4 inches across, and the flat one is about 8.5 inches across. So at the end of the day, does K&C yarn work in the Sentro knitting machine? Overall, yes. We didn't experience any drop stitches. The fabric that it produces is pretty lightweight and thin, so like I was saying at the beginning of the video, if you're looking for a thicker piece of fabric, then I would definitely recommend double stranding this and trying it then. Some yarns, thinner yarns, do work double stranded in this machine. If you have any further questions, please leave me a comment down below and I will try to answer it to the best of my ability. Otherwise, I will leave the blog to all the other yarns that work in the Sentro knitting machine linked in the top comment as well. I hope you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful. If so, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, because this is a project that I plan on continuing throughout the year. So hopefully you guys will chime in with me and figure out which yarns work with this machine right beside me. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram, where I post about all my whips and crafty adventures. Sign up for the newsletter so you don't miss out on blog post updates. A lot of them do have to do with this machine. And until next time, guys, happy making.